Ragazzo.
Ragazzo, caffè. Let's see. Magic. Can you briefly introduce yourself? Name, country, profession, but also a visual description. I can start. Aristide Rontini, from Italy, performer, choreographer, community dance practitioner and activist. My visual description: I'm quite tall, I have a brown, short hair and dark brown eyes, I wear big glasses, I have a shorter arm, which is the right one, sorry for my English, and that's it. Who next?
You are very handsome.
Thank you.
Okay. Me? Yep. So my name is Cesato. My surname is Cesato, tapping on the nose. My work roles are I'm an artistic director, I'm a performance artist, and a BSL art guide. In terms of my visual description, I have Far East Asian features because I'm from Japan and now I live here in London. I've got short dark hair, and in terms of my clothing, I've got a blue and white top on with a design on it.
Thank you.
My name is Katarzyna Żeglicka. I come from Poland. I go by they, them in English. I identify as queer and a crip. I've been doing lots of things throughout my life, but currently I'm a performer, a choreographer, and also a bodywork trainer. I'm short, I'm white. My hair is super short as well. I'm wearing glasses. I'm extremely gorgeous.
You are.
And I'm wearing a purple jumper. And there's also a ring on my ring finger.
Next question.
Oh, yeah.
Can you talk about a performance by a deaf or disabled artist that has had an impact on you in the last 3 years?
I can start, and I would like to speak about Claire Cunningham. I think she's Scottish. I can't really recall the title. However, I do recall how much impact her performance had on me, and it was actually her influence that made me believe that I really want to get on the route towards dance and never get away from it. She's extremely important in my life, an extremely important figure in my life, in my artistic life.
Sorry if I go? So I've just been thinking, I've come up with 2 artists that I want to talk about. One is one of our friends, Chiara. We've actually went to see her performance yesterday at the National Gallery, and it was astonishing, a really brave piece. Before seeing the performance, Chiara had already, told us about her concept, about the painting, and how it relates to her body, and how traditional paintings, are very beautiful individuals and how they are represented, and that her body is different from that, but actually both bodies are beautiful. And I think the atmosphere that was created in this performance was really amazing. The title is Looking for Unicorns, Seeking Unicorn. That was the first one. The second one I think of, I can't remember the name of the artist, but I think you'll know it. It's a wheelchair user. They created a film, it's a female, where she was going diving. She was diving in her wheelchair. So she was scuba diving in her wheelchair, and she was filmed underwater, under the sea. Can you remember it? Have you seen that film? It's really, really beautiful. It's a really powerful film. And yeah, her being as a wheelchair user and diving under the water in the sea, it really transformed the way of thinking. And I think it broke some of my, concepts of what is normal, and it really, really impacted me. So that's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I want also to acknowledge, also Chiara's piece yesterday for me, it was very important to see, and it will be having an impact on me. And also, the collective we are in, Aldiqua Artists, as we are a group of artists with disability from Italy, all the conversations we have are very influencing my own way of now thinking about body choreography. So I feel also that even if it's not a show, because even if they create performances and I see their works and they are important to me, but it also create a space for conversation and thinking about how we position in life, in our practice. For me, it has a strong impact having this space with these artists in Italy. And also back-to-back theater yesterday was for me a great performance. I loved it as an activist. I found it a very important piece for me.
I would also love to mention a choreographer from Poland who died 3 years ago. I'm speaking about Rafał Urbacki. He made a performance titled He Got Up and Went Home. And in this performance, he brought to public attention how patronizing the approach of the Catholic Church in Poland is to persons with disabilities and deaf persons. And the thing that will stay with me forever, I guess, is the moment in the performance where he takes a needle and sews a rosary to his foot.
Wow.
Next one?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Was there any artistic work which particularly inspired you at the beginning of your career to pursue the performing arts as a profession?
It's an interesting question. Say for me so far, there have been not that many works that have really inspired me. I haven't found many role models in my field, I found. But, over the last few years I've been working with lots of different artists on my own work, and I think it's those experiences that I've learned from that have helped me kind of form my deaf-led ways of working and have made me adapt. And I think that is what has helped me, form my kind of Cesato way of working, my own way of working. I think that has influenced me working with others.
I feel like it was similar in my case. I was actually 40 years old when I started to become a dancer. I feel like beforehand I was pretty much an ignorant when it comes to dance, because mostly I thought I just can't do it and I'm unable to do it. And I also lacked role models. I knew none. I haven't met a single person, a single deaf or disabled person that would be active in the arts. I knew some deaf and disabled people who would be doing artistic things, but it was always in institutions where this was part of art therapy or something similar. And what really inspired me to get into the dancing branch and look for deaf and disabled people who are active as dancers and performance artists was actually the first performance that I was invited to take part in.
I started in the theater field, not in dance field, because I felt I always liked watching dance in TV programs. I mean, it was my first approach to dance, seeing bodies in TV moving, and I loved it, and I would start dancing with them and really felt I also want to move. But I didn't allow myself to go to a dance class in my little city. But I felt maybe theater was a good place, and also in the city there was also a group of inclusive theater, which was with integrated group, so with people with disability and people without disability working together. So I felt a safe space where my body in a way was allowed to be in art field. So I started with theater. This is my beginning, but since the first day I felt this is my place. It's the place I want to belong to, even if I didn't belong. I didn't feel I was belonging to. Yeah. Next. Ready? I'm not very good at it. Which artists or artistic practices inspire you in your current work?
I feel like my inspiration within my artistic practice and body work, I actually draw them from many different places, not just from someone's artistic practice. I feel like the body work that I've been doing together with a number of queer feminist activists are a constant influence on me. This is where I first met with such a level of sensitivity and empowerment that actually had an influence. And my work was developing in this context, in the context of awareness and empowerment. I feel like my current interest in body work is very much focused on the idea of rest as resistance, and I draw a lot of inspiration from the NAP Ministry collective, as well as a Polish activist collective under the name Ucieleśnienie, which means embodiment. And I'm kind of looking at what they're doing, and I'm adjusting it to working with deaf and disabled people. And I also want to add that I feel hugely inspired for my current project under the title Wild Grown. I draw a lot of inspiration for this from a book about the approach to animals and plants written by and the title of the book translates roughly to cattle yoke, even though I have to admit I don't know the original English title, so you would have to look it up yourself.
Thank you.
Dziękuję.
Yes, Kisato, please. If you want. I think.
No, just thinking about artists. I think if we look at artist practice, I think what's really been useful for me so far has been getting involved in different projects. And also my work as a BSL art guide. And also I really enjoy talking with, hearing people and asking them how do they realise sound, what does sound mean to them, how do they understand it, and having those sorts of conversations. And that's been a lot of my art practice, and it really, really helped me to think and consider what I can create with my artwork. And I think that's it for me. Short and good, short and sweet. We'll compete for it.
No, for me it's very important to a practice that I've learned in the last 5 years during many workshops, and it's about resting, but perceiving your body and your movement and your needs for movement and desire for movement. So it's like my body is a source of inspiration, and I can listen to it, and it knows what I need, and these needs sometimes are covered by society's demands. So I found very useful this practice of listening and perceiving and move from my needs. So this is a practice that I cultivate all the time now. I feel it very useful to connect myself. Another, I really like to play. So it's more maybe theater oriented, but I really like to play with things, with myself, presenting myself, because for me stage is also a place where you meet and present yourself, and it's also about identity, so it's how you play with all this presentation. So, but it's very playful way of working with myself. And of course, I was inspired for sure by my first theater teacher, who is very politically engaged, and their practice was very critical towards society. So I feel this is it's a legacy I took from her.
Aristide?
Yes.
Do you remember any actual practices that you could share with us right now about looking deep inside your body to discover those needs and to allow the body to rest?
Albo materiały jakieś w dziewczynku?
You can. I've learned it from Laura. No, Laura. Oh, no. Sorry, but it's about you perceiving the weight of your body, scan your skeleton, perceive your blood system, listen to how the breath is connected to the world and the rhythm of your breath and to your cells. I mean, you can go even deeper and deeper. From there, starting moving very slowly and see without deconstruct the mind in a way. It's not the mind that tells your body what to do, but it's your body that do in its own time. It might take also 5 minutes before you move, and you just always, it's about this. I start always like this. I just need, and then I play with another body, like another perception of environment, so I can play in a different way, because otherwise I feel I'm not connected deeply to myself. I'm playing with all the other layers. And I'm also, in my way of working, I'm really collecting a lot of things and let things go out. A lot go out, just do banal things, very easy. The first thing that comes into my mind, I do it, I record it, and then I practice, and many things comes later, but for me they are all equal, important. Banal things, very innovative things, and then with all this huge amount of material, I'll start reflecting on it, choosing, tailor. Yeah.
No, I think I really understand what you're saying, Ari. Just about our bodies, remember our past, and they remember what they've done, and they have that kind of muscle memory, and how you can work with that.
And it's wise.
Okay, move on. Next
Let's
question.
Go. Can I just see
If
one, right? One or
Yes.
two we have? One or two?
Yes, one.
One. Is there a regular way you develop an artistic idea, or is each process different? I like this question.
That's a quick one. I do have a method that I always use, and it's like throughout the whole creative process, I do write things like individual ideas, collocations on small pieces of paper, and then I keep them all the time, and I arrange them and rearrange them, putting them together into sequences, scenes, chords. I also record a lot. I record myself, and every creative process goes hand in hand with the with the accessibility process, where I reflect on how whatever comes to my mind fits into the idea of accessibility, so that as much people as possible can access it. Yeah, I feel like also one thing that connects all my artistic work is that take a really, really long, and it's really, really hard work.
Tak. For me, the process is always different because each project needs a different process. And maybe the way I develop the idea, it has some common points among the old processes I've run till today. And it's so something like I told you about already, collecting a lot of material, but it can be really books, images, movement, and then scores or just intuition. We can be body-wise, space-wise, time-wise, or just a collection of images in a succession. And these are tools that I use often, but at the same time, each process for me is different because the project needs a different process because of the needs of the project. Yeah. And also it takes a lot of time for me. For me, to process.
It's really interesting what both said. I think I would agree with the slow process and needing time for that process to really work itself out. My process is very much based on research coming first. So I think same as both of you have said. So it's looking for those materials. It's almost similar to my work as a BSL art guide. It's quite a similar one. I also think accessibility is, as we said, very important. You know, my work style is deaf-led. No, I've not finished it, I was just waiting for the translator. Sorry. Yeah, maybe when you finish you can always tap the table, because then I know you're done. Perfect, thank you. So yeah, my work is deaf-led. So my team are usually all hearing. I may have some deaf people involved. So I really need to have a clear concept before starting. The next step is then I create like a storyboard. So it's visually accessible for anyone that may need it. This means the interpreters or the team can say, okay, what does Chisante want? What's her concept? And they'll have it there, and then we can discuss it. And we can say, you know, what parts is everyone doing? We collect that together. And it's a very collaborative process. Thank you. Whee!
I think we got it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming tonight. It was very nice to meet you. See you in the best channels of international channels every night.
See you in the next episode of Aris TV.
This is Aris
Don't forget
TV
to
show.
hit the like and subscribe.
Yes.
I'm trying to train my present. I'm trying to play, you know. How you doing?
Dobra, mamy to, tak?
Thank you.
Mamy to. Off the record.
O, dobrze. To było miłe.